Good morning. This is Elder G again. God can woke me up one more time. God can start me on my way. God can clothe me in my right mind, and all of my limbs are working properly. Once again, there's thousands and thousands of people that went to bed last night that prayed a prayer similar to what you prayed last night. But they didn't wake up this morning. Not because they was out there living and did something that ended their life. It's just that their number came up. The death angel came by last night and he called a roll. And your name was on there. Next time, it could be my name, or it could be anybody's name. God can do whatever he pleases. I mean, that's why he's called God. That's why he's called Lord of Lords and King of Kings. That's why when he speaks, whatever he speaks, that thing come to pass. Because everything that you think, God is the one that thought it up for you. Just think about every human being's got a different mind. Got different fingerprints, different DNA. But God controls them all at the same time. Just think about the power that you have to make individuals and to make them to produce after their own kind. Just think about this. When God made me, he made a woman that was going to have my child, and then he put in my body and wrote my history of every child I'm ever going to have, or the very hairs on my head. He knows the number. He knows every grain of sand on the seashore. And he knows it all at the same time. He knows every tree and how it's going to grow and when it's going to die. He knows all this at the exact same time. He's everywhere at the exact same time. He's every one. He's every word that would ever be spoken. Every bridge that would ever going to be built. Every doctor in every sick room. At the same time. He don't slumber and he don't sleep. And he never get tired. And he need no rest because he is eternal. And then you got people here on little old earth. Just think about this. In God's kingdom, he said that we human beings that we think of to be so much just because God made us in his image. The Bible say that God say that man ain't nothing more than a filthy rag. Just think about that. In God's scheme, in the whole thing of God, man is less than a speck of sand. And God considered to be nothing but worse than a filthy rag. That's all we are. We are just pilgrims. You know, poor people, beggars. We are just pilgrims. And we're going through this barren land. To God, earth ain't nothing but a barren land. And we are less than pilgrims. And we just groping for the wall, going through this barren land. I'm going to talk about hate again. Not because of something that somebody is doing to you, or something that somebody is doing against the Constitution or against the laws. You got people that's breaking into America, not because they hate America. You got people that breaking into America, not because they hate the Constitution or the laws in the United States. The United States is supposed to be that beacon that sits up on the hill, that shines light into darkness, and that people see, and people come running instead of trying to break out of America. They breaking into America because they love what they heard about the Constitution. They heard what the Constitution offers, no matter who you are or where you from or who you love. The Constitution is going to welcome them. They know once they get there, they're gonna have freedom to speak up. They're gonna have freedom of the press, so people can record around you what's going on in a truthful manner. That if you have to go to the law and someone falsely accuse you, you want to have at least 2 or 3 witnesses. So what you can be verified. People are being vilified, not because they hate the Constitution or the law. It's that they loved it and they wanted it so much, and that light was so bright that they try to break in just to get it. Just to leave your country behind and follow that light. They're going to lead you to freedom. The freedom of your speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom to bear arms, the freedom of your religion, the freedom to love who you want to love. I'm totally against homosexuality, but God gave everybody a freedom. If I infringe on your freedom, then you're going to infringe on mine. So if we infringing on each other's freedom, what happened to the freedom? See, when you try to take away somebody else's freedom, they're going to retaliate. That's what the Bible said. That's what, if you can't enter into a strong man's house and spoil his good, except you first got to bind the strong man. See, God told you to be strong and be courageous and follow me. I'll lead you and I'll guide you around that. Whatever it takes to get the job done. You got to remember, somebody is trying to destroy you. Think about it. Somebody is trying to take away something from you. They trying to take away something from you that they want to enjoy. But they don't want you to enjoy it because they think they better than you. Just because of the color of their skin. They think they better than you. They think they better than God. Because God told them in Jeremiah 10, it tell us, do not do, Jeremiah chapter 10, do not do like the heathens do. See, the people that search out the riches, the people that search out the power and lust and covetousness and lasciviousness and wickedness and idolatries. that people that believes in other kind of gods. That's what we got. We got good and we got evil. The good and the evil is at war against each other. We're at war. And in chapter 13 of Revelation, the saints, the church is defeated. In chapter 13 of the book of Revelation, the church is defeated because the human beings, when they meant that church is defeated, that means that human beings, we didn't get saved. The church didn't get saved in Revelation chapter 13. The church failed. See, that's what a lot of preachers don't preach to you about. They lie. And they cover up talking about the saved people ain't going to go through the tribulation. Everybody knows that that's a lie. The church lost the battle in chapter 13. God gonna reinstate at the fall of the church. God gonna reinstate the priesthood. The Levite priesthood is gonna be restored at the fall of the church. And the church falls in Revelation 13. No matter what church, on what corner, they can't get you into heaven. No preacher, no deacon, no motherboard is going to be able to save you. The Bible told you. And if you was really reading the Bible and you really believe God and you really reading His Word, you would know that, but you don't. That means that you a liar. You a liar. You just a wolf that's walking around in sheep clothing. If the church would have had succeeded, that would have been no need for Christ to come and die. That would have been no need for Jesus to come through 42 generations, hoping and praying that was going to be somebody. God was searching in the heaven for somebody that could redeem us from the condition that we have fallen. He searched the earth and he said he found nobody. Nobody could save us. Nobody could redeem us. He searched the heavens, he searched the earth, and then he searched beneath the earth. And he said he found none. He found nobody that could be like Adam was before the fall, without spot or wrinkle or speck. Just think about that. And he found none. And he said that God wasn't going to let his name be blasphemed. So the Bible said that God himself repented. He repented of the fact that he created man in his image, and then he had to turn his back on mankind. And he was going to destroy everything he had created. He have to repent himself. He had to swear by himself. He had to take back and modify his own word. Why did he do it, LG? Because he didn't want his name to be blasphemed. He didn't want his name to be blasphemed. So he searched the heaven, he searched the earth, and he searched beneath, and he didn't find nobody. And then you can imagine God being sad because he got He got to condemn the very image that he portrayed himself to be. He got to condemn it to everlasting damnation. And then God repented. And then God said, I can't let my name be blasphemed. He said, I'm going to create me a human being suit. And I'm gonna go down as a human being. And I'm going to redeem my people. Because I'm holy. And that's what he does. He goes down. He sends the angel Gabriel to Mary. And he told Mary, don't be afraid. You know, you highly favored. You so highly favored that you're going to be highly favored above all women. He said, the Holy Ghost is going to come upon you. And you're going to conceive. And that you're going to bring forth a son. And you're going to call his name Emmanuel. Emmanuel being interpreted, it meant that God is with us. See, that's what the Bible tells you. God ain't over yonder and God ain't over there. God ain't writing his law up on stone no more like he did with Moses on Mount Sinai. God is wrote his law under the new covenant up on your heart and in your mind and in your soul. You ain't gonna need nobody to tell you to know the Lord. The Bible says, all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. See, God don't care if you're rich or poor. He don't care. God don't have no respect for a person. Anybody tell you that they don't know God, you can look them right in the face and tell them they a liar. Because God's law is written with every man, woman, child that come through a womb. The law is already written in his heart, in his mind, and in his soul. Nobody got to teach you nothing about the Lord. All you got to do is live and let Jesus lead you and guide you in the way. Jesus will be your GPS. It'll tell you where to start, and it'll tell you where you end up. There's only two places that you can end up. You can end up in the barn, or you could be bundled up into a bundle to be burned. It's your choice. Mama can't save you from this. Daddy can't save you from this. Brother or sister, pastor or deacon or mother, they can't save you. Your soul is in your hand and it's in the hands of Christ where it's going to end up. I want to end up on the side where it says, well done, thou good and faithful servant. You have been loyal and dedicated over a few things. Just come on into paradise and I will make you ruler over many things. That's the number that I want to be in. Let's face the facts. These prejudiced white men is taking you right into a civil war. Whenever you try to take freedom away from somebody, that's why there's so many people in the grave right now. because they try to take somebody's freedom away. They try to take somebody's possession away. I'm a human being. I'm a child of the Most High God. I have just as much rights to protect myself as you have to protect yourself. Quit lying to the Christian people. You have every right to stop someone from punching you in the face. You have every right to stop them. And in order for you to stop them, you can use any means necessary, even unto putting them down. I'm talking about, I'm a believer of God. I believe in the canon, both the Old and the New Testament. I would believe in the prophets. The Bible tells us you don't have to let somebody take your life, because no one have the power to raise you up. Nobody have the power to raise you up. Don't let nobody take you down. The Bible said that God is always the head, and he's never the tail. The Bible says that Jesus will build you up. He'll strengthen you when you're weak. He'll be your doctor in the sick room. He'll be your bridge over troubled water. He'll be your way out of no way. And he'll be your bright and morning star. Jesus don't lose. It's not what you do, it is how you do it. If you kill somebody and you're a police officer and you was hired by the city to protect the city against crime and against sin and aggression against innocent people, they give you training, they give you a gun, they give you some rules, and then they tell you sometimes you gotta kill. And they pay you to protect innocent people from evil people. That preacher, that's a sheriff, he's still a preacher. He's still a man of God. But God said, if you put good rules and good, fair, and justice rules in place, he said that God will permit you to do some things. See, when a city form or a town form, and they get a police force and they get judges, and people vote for the people they want to implement rules, and as long as you go by the rules, you're okay. But you go outside of the rules, that's a consequence. As long as the majority of the people in the Word of God agree that there should be a consequence, if someone steals from you, the Bible said that's a consequence, and God called you a thief. If you go around lying all the time, there's a consequence, because there's a punishment for lying on people, scandalizing people's names. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's your life. Because sometimes you go out to take somebody's life, but your life is the one that get taken. See, sometimes you plan to take somebody else's life, but the very person's life that you was going to try to take, they end up taking your life. That's what they call karma. Karma is the very thing that you attempted to do. It's the very thing that happened to you. That's what karma is. You go out to rob somebody, and on the way to rob somebody, you got robbed. See, that's karma. That means that, see, God intervened on your behalf without you even asking for it, without you even knowing it almost happened to you. That's karma. That's when Pharaoh said Moses' firstborn son was going to die. And Moses said, no, no, Pharaoh. It's not my firstborn son that's going to die. It is your firstborn son that's going to die. That's karma. That whatever you try to bring up on somebody else, that is exactly what comes up on you. And that's why over 30 years, I preached this to the preachers and the deacons, and they wouldn't even hear me. They wouldn't even acknowledge what I'm saying. They call me crazy. They call me radical. Women call me male chauvinist pig because I believe that God made Adam first. When God made Adam, Eve didn't even exist in the flesh. Eve was still in Adam's loins when God gave him dominion. God created Eve after Adam had named everything. Not that God looked down on woman as less than a man. I don't look down woman as less than a man. A woman got her own two eyes, her own fingerprint. She got her own brain. She can hear, she can see, she can think. God said that the woman and the man is supposed to come together as one. They're supposed to cleave to each other. And when they cleave to each other, they become one flesh again. See, when the woman's over there and you over there, y'all separated. But when y'all come together in marriage, y'all come together again. Y'all are one again. See, God knows what's best. All we got to do is follow Christ. Christ, he's the only one that knows the way to the Father. And as long as we let him lead us and guide us, his whole duty is one thing. It is to lead us to the Father. And that where he is, there we're going to be also. Now, let me show you what prejudice is. Prejudice is when you hate somebody because of the color of their skin, or where they come from, or what language they speak, or who they love. This prejudiced white man, he want to do what the white people want to do. He want to do things to benefit the white people, but he want to use the black and the brown people to do the labor and stuff and invent stuff and all that kind of stuff, but he want to put his name on it. So he prejudiced against you because you don't look like him. So if you don't look like him, you ain't good enough. That's what the prejudice was. He's better than somebody else. God loved him more than he loved black and brown people. And white people that try to help black and brown people get their rights and their freedoms. I thank the white people for that. Some white people died to help black and brown people. I know that. And I'm recognizing that. I'm not talking about all white. I'm talking about these white supremacists, these white nationals that think they some kind of God. That they better than somebody else. The Constitution said that no one is above the law. Either the Constitution is a liar, or these prejudiced white people are liars. Where we are now, we have to make a choice as a believer of God. Which one of these two people is on God's side? And which one of these two people is on the devil's side? You can't have it both ways. God said you cannot straddle the fence. He don't want you to be lukewarm. If the tree is good and its fruit is good. If a tree is corrupt, its fruit is corrupt. If you are a father of a child and a mother of a child and you corrupt, you're going to raise your daughter or your son to be corrupt. If you are a child of God and follow after Christ, you're going to train up your child in the way that God will have them to go. So when they're 18 and they depart from you, they may slip and they may fall, but they'll have the ability and the wisdom to get right back up again. Like Donald McClurkin said, I fall down, I may fall down, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get right back up again. Now, you see the picture up there, right? You got Donald Trump, Epstein, at parties with young girls, getting high, drugging the girls, sexually assaulting them, getting some of them pregnant, and then when they have the babies, they're having parties and they eating the babies. They done sold their soul to the devil. And they done bowed the knee to Baal. It always, the very person that you don't think is the devil is the very devil. A devil, he's always going to transform himself into somebody good. Because he know how gullible Christian people is. They're strained at a gnat, but they'll turn right around and they'll swallow a camel. When you instill hate in your sons and your daughters, for over 500 years, you instill in your children that white is better than black and brown people. That white meant godly and cleanliness, and dark meant dirty and nasty. You taught your kids to be shot down in the street for calling somebody a nigger. Just because you want to be superior. You know anybody that have to try that hard to be superior? You already know they're the weak one. I remember when we was growing up, my daddy used to teach us. See, my daddy used to tell us some stuff that he wouldn't tell us around mama. He'll take us boys all to ourselves, and then he'll sit down and talk to us. He said, I don't want you to talk to mama about this. But I gotta tell you some man thing. I gotta tell you how you're gonna survive when you're out there all by yourself and people that don't like you try to take advantage of you. He said, when somebody's quiet and they off most of the time, they off there to themselves. He said, those are the dangerous ones. Every time you see them, they're just over there leaning in the corner, or sitting over there in a chair, or just walking around the field. They thinking. They got a thoughtful mind. But the person that's always bragging and the person that always running their mouth, he said, They ain't you ain't got to worry about them too much. He said, all you got to do is come up close enough to them. And when they talking, he said, when you're talking, you're not prepared for battle. See, when you're talking, your jaw is loose. Your jaw is loose. And he said, but when you get ready to go into battle, you tighten your lip and you lock your jaw because you're going into battle. And a loose jaw will sink a ship, right? So my father said, while they running their mouth, he said, you get as close to them as possible. That's what he said. He said, you get as close to them as possible so it won't draw no attention. But you know that when you get them in arm length, that you can then stand firm and tighten your jaw. And you draw back as far as you can, and you bring that haymaker and you hit them dead in the mouth. See, he told us to avoid trouble. Don't start nothing and it won't be nothing. But if you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. Churches have misled us in that sense. How do you know and you can verify that the church have misled us in that area? 30-something years I've been telling this and saying it to the people. Tell the people the truth. Tell the people the truth. There's people out there that don't like you. There's people out there that don't love God and don't care nothing about Christ. There's people out there that worship demons. I'm supposed to train up my children in the way that God will have them to go. That when they turn 18 and go out on their own, they won't depart from it. When situations come up, they'll know what to do. They'll hope and pray that they don't have to do it, but they'll know if they have to kill. It's okay to kill to protect your family or to protect your community or to protect your city or your town or your state. It's okay. What God says in the Bible is thou shalt not murder. Murder is when you kill because of hate. Like the prejudiced white people, like President Trump and Pete Hegseth blew the people in the boats out of the water in Venezuela without any kind of process. If you are believing in God, you know that was straight up murder. Do you deserve to die because you snorted a little cocaine? Do you deserve to die because you sold a little cocaine? Do you deserve the death penalty for that? From somebody that you can't even see, that you don't even know, and they don't even know if you're innocent or guilty. They don't know if you're a father or you're a mother. Are you a son or a daughter? They care nothing about you. Do that sound godly to you? Do that sound godly to you that you will sexually assault a 9-year-old girl, a 10-year-old, or 11 or 12 or 13? Your girl impregnate her and then end up killing and eating the baby? Just think about that for a second. This world has some evil people in it. This world has some treacherous people in it. And God tell you how you can deal with that and still be in favor with him. That's why if somebody commit murder, we put them in prison. Sometimes we give them the death penalty. We think that they're crying and they so heinous that we put them to death. That's okay in the Bible. That's okay. There is no way that I'm going to let a child molester loose around children. You're not supposed to let that happen. If you letting that happen, then you're not a godly person. Because the Bible said, whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Now, let me get back to the hypocrites. See, MAGA Republicans, they voted for Donald J. Trump in 2024, November 5th. And this is how you go before the judgment seat. This is how you be condemned. God shined the light in the darkness, but for over 400 years that I know about, since 1619, God been trying to get you to see and to turn from your evil ways. But you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. We got two men up here on the screen. We got President Clinton and President Trump. Both of these men have did things that God don't like. Bill Clinton lied about a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. President Trump lied about paying Stormy Daniels $107,000 for not telling the truth about they had a sexual relationship. Bill Clinton, I did not have sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And you know what Donald Trump did? On November 5th, 2024, 77 million people and 90 million people stayed at home because they didn't care who ran the country, the devil or Christ. They didn't care because they don't believe in neither one of them. So they stayed at home and didn't vote. When you know an evil is coming and you won't do anything to stop it, then that means that you for the evil. If you was against the evil that was coming, you would have got up and you would have did something about it. I don't have to guess what you would do. I don't have to think about what you would do. And 2026, I know what you would do now. I know 90 million people, if they saw a storm coming in America, I know that 90 million people will do nothing. I don't have to guess no more. I saw it, I lived through it, and I got millions and I got hundreds of millions of eyewitnesses that 90 million people will do nothing in the storm. I got another 77 million people that'll go with the storm, that will participate in the storm and with the storm. I got 77 million people that'll do that. We saw a storm coming when a president got impeached twice in office. First time a president ever been impeached twice. And every time, with all the evidence in the world, the jury acquitted him, not because he wasn't guilty, because they was just as evil as he is, and they love everything that he's doing. They love pain. They love suffering. They love torturing people and taking advantage of people and using people. But the Bible said, a man foe shall be of their own household. The very house of cards that they built, President Clinton and President Trump. I believe that what they saying about Bill Clinton, I believe that to be true. Because I watched Bill Clinton when he lied about him and Monica Lewinsky. So I know Bill Clinton will look you dead in the eye and he didn't tell a lie. I know Bill Clinton knew what was going on that island. And he enjoyed it. But I also heard Bill Clinton say, yeah, I'm going to mess up. I did wrong. I shouldn't have participated in that kind of mess. But I got a daughter. And I got grandkids. And he said, I care more about the Constitution than me worrying about my reputation. I'm just going to tell it like it is. President Trump is evil. He have no empathy. He have no mercy. He don't feel pain except pain for himself, and that everybody is against him, and that everybody hate him. Everybody don't hate him. 77 million people don't hate him. 90 million people that stayed at home knowing how dangerous he was. They didn't care. They just laid there in bed. See, God tell you that whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Now Bill Clinton is exposed. Bill Gates is exposed. Elon Musk is exposed. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. They've been exposed. That's why freedom is important, because these social media sites that I'm talking on, they owned by the very people I'm talking about. That's why the Constitution is so important, that everybody have the right to speak. The press have the right to report the truth, whether you like it or not. Freedom is your religion. Everybody is not going to believe the same way you believe. Everybody needs the exact same right, because that's what God did. He gave you two choices. Which road you want to go down, you have free will. That's what you wanted, was free will. You got it. Whatever road you go down, you can reap the reward, or you can suffer the pain and the suffering. It's in your hands until you get to the judgment seat of Christ. And then Christ is going to decide which way you go. If you've been doing good, you're going to go into salvation. If you've been doing bad, you're going to go into the fiery furnace. Two men, president, both of them has been presidents. If it's okay to do a deposition on President Clinton and his wife, then it's okay to do a deposition of Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Donald Trump's name is mentioned in the Epstein file. Jamie Raskin, the congressman, said that Donald Trump's name is mentioned in the Epstein file over 1 million times. A girl testified to the FBI that when she was around 13 years old, that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her and even hit her. And the FBI that's supposed to be arresting and trying people for crime against kids, since probably the 80s, the FBI covered it up. They covered up for the pedophiles that took your daughters and your sons and sold them like animals. For people to sexually assault them and to abuse them. And to get them pregnant and then turn around and eat the children. Our FBI and Homeland Security and the DOJ is covering up for pedophiles. Just because it's their friends and two presidents is caught up in it. They are covering it up when they're supposed to be protecting our children. That's what we pay them for. See, they're hypocrites. Jim Jordan, when he was at Ohio State, a wrestling coach, he saw Sandusky molesting a 13-year-old boy, and he didn't tell law enforcement and let them kids keep on getting molested. And he got rewarded for that. They made him a congressman. President Trump, twice impeached, convicted of sexual assault. His company has been convicted of fraud. He done went bankrupt in corporation 6 times. Name me somebody that you know that went in business and went bankrupt 6 times. Tell me. He tell lies. He's the lyingest person that I have ever heard. I ain't talking about the lie that somebody told me or somebody wrote. I'm talking about the lies that I heard looking him in the face and seeing his mouth move, seeing him say the words that I know is a lie. He going around lying like this is the best economy ever in the United States. Everybody knows that's a lie. He's a genius. He's the smartest man that ever lived. Everybody knows that that's a lie. He respects women. Everybody knows that's a lie. When you say he ain't president, everybody knows that's a lie. But the Bible said, when you go along with that lie, you worse than the one that's lying. Because you went along with something that you knew was a lie. But there's only one reason why you run along with it. Because of your hate for black and brown people and for white people that try to help them get their rights. Can you imagine to have that much hate inside? Now, everybody knows how the law works, right? If a witness came and said, I saw Ronnie shoot that man in the back in cold blood, 2 or 3 people come up and tell the police I did that, they're going to take me straight to jail. And I know I'm going to trial because I got 2 or 3 witnesses. Only one to put me in jail. But if you got 2 or 3 of them, you know I'm going up the river without a paddle. Now let's look at the 4 people. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Donald J. Trump and Melania Trump. Hillary Clinton, she don't even know Epstein. Yeah, she done been to places where Epstein is, and she done been introduced, but what she's saying is she don't know him. She don't hang out with him. He ain't her friend. But they call her to give a deposition about the Epstein case. She ain't got nothing to tell them. They wasting the taxpayer dollar. They brought Bill Clinton. The Democrats already know who Bill Clinton is. The Democrats already know what Bill Clinton will do. We ain't trying to protect Bill Clinton. We know what a scandal Bill Clinton is. We know Bill Clinton a lie to protect himself. We know that. But he's not trying to destroy the government. He's not trying to overthrow the Constitution. Even though he said he did all those things, he loved the Constitution more. He loved this country more than he loved his reputation. But Trump don't have that. Trump don't have a conscience. Trump would do anything. The more evil he do, the better he feels. When you got somebody like Trump, that's a dangerous man. That's a dangerous man. So, you people that claim y'all love Christ and believe in the Bible, right? Y'all knew Trump was guilty of being impeached twice. Y'all knew that Trump tried to overthrow the government on January 6th. Y'all knew that Trump had been convicted of sexual assault of Eugene Carroll. Y'all knew that Donald Trump Company had been convicted of fraud. Y'all know that Donald Trump had been convicted of 34 felonies. All those things I just mentioned should have disqualified Donald Trump from being anywhere near the Oval Office. But you love evil. You love pain and suffering of other people just because of the color of their skin and to make you feel better about yourself. There's no equal justice in this country. All the stuff that Donald Trump did on January 6th and impeached twice and sexual assault and convicted of fraud. You chose this man over justice. You chose this man over freedom. And he tried to use his being president as a reason why he won't sit down. And now we have a head-to-head thing. We have a president that just gave a deposition about the Epstein file. But we have another man that's president and all the crimes that he committed. And you don't even call him in for a deposition. A man that been over 20 years best friends with Epstein, the number one pedophile in the world, in history. And his wife used to be part of the stable of Epstein. She was working for an escort service. But you're going to bring Hillary Clinton in that don't even know Epstein. And you're going to bring Bill Clinton in, and Trump name and Melania name, Trump name is mentioned over 1 million times. But you won't bring him in for questioning. You know what you're saying to the black and the brown people? F you. Looking at wolves in sheep clothing. And they eating each other. They eating each other because that's the way evil is. Evil is what evil does. You call in the people that don't hardly know nothing about the situation, and the very people that participated in the crime, that went to all the parties. You invited him to your wedding. You went to his island. He came to Mar-a-Lago. Y'all best friends. And they won't even depose Trump or Melania. That lets you know right there. There ain't no equal justice in this country. There's a two-tier system here. If you got money and power and you're white, you can oppress people. You can take away people's rights, and you can kill people without a cause. Everybody see it now. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. United States ain't gonna never have the respect anymore. See, everybody around the world get to see now on social media. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. Everybody can see that the black people was telling the truth all the time. That these prejudiced white people, they don't have no conscience. They don't have no mercy. They will not stop. Because they have to believe and think in their head that they better than somebody else. Even when they're not. That's kind of sad. But you still got a chance this Saturday morning. February 28, 27, 2025. February 28, 2025. 2026. You got an opportunity to come to Jesus. Just like you are. You ain't got to do nothing special. You just have to be sincere. And believe in your heart and mind and your soul that Jesus Christ is the Lord. I'm asking you to come to Jesus this morning, just like you are. If you're doing crack, just come on your way. Once you accept Jesus, and Jesus starts to lead you, he'll take you off that crack. Whatever you involved in, Dr. Jesus can fix it. Because he's a doctor in the sick room. He'll build you up when you're torn down. He'll strengthen you where you're weak. He'll build a bridge over troubled water for you. And he'll be your bright and morning star. All you got to do is come to him and acknowledge him. And he will lead and guide you in the way that he would have you to go. Saturday, February 28, 2025. That's all you got to do. If you ain't been baptized, you need to get baptized. Baptism represents death, burial, and resurrection. When you go out into that water, that's a sinner. But when that preacher brings you up out of that water, you're a brand new creation. All your sins and all your troubles are passed away. God have made all things new. Now all you got to do is let Jesus lead you and guide you in the way that he would have you to go. As you do your protocol this morning, I'm asking you one more time to come to Jesus just like you are. Put your hand in his hand and let Jesus lead you and guide you in the way that he would have you to go. I appreciate you for following me on Facebook and liking and sharing. I appreciate you on YouTube subscribing and liking and sharing. And hit that notification bell that next time I'm on, you'll look at your phone when you hear that ding and you say, Elder G's on. Let me call my friends and family. Let them know that Elder G's got a word. I love you all. And may the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Go in peace. Bye-bye.